I stood in my parents' living room with a warm flute of cider while the Blake holiday party swelled. Too many people, too much perfume, judgment under the carols. Aaron, come here, my mother called from the piano, flanked by relatives who used me as a comparison. Her smile was bright. Tell everyone about your new job. I dreaded this since I arrived. I work at Metropolitan Hospital, I said. He's being modest, my mother trilled, the laugh that cuts while pretending to hug. He answers phones. We're proud he's finally employed after all that schooling. Daniel arrived on cue, fresh from bragging about a real estate deal. Hey, A, he smacked my shoulder. Still front desk? I began, but my mother talked over me. We tell people he's in healthcare. Sounds better than receptionist. My pager buzzed. I ignored it. The chorus swelled. Pity, advice, my father's sigh about the job I'd refused at his company. The pager buzzed again, harder. I glanced down. Code black. Presidential trauma. Chief of neurosurgery, required immediately. Cerebral aneurysm rupture. No other qualified surgeon. My mouth went dry. Aaron, are you listening? My mother snapped. We're discussing your future. I need to make a call, I said, stepping away. See? Daniel told the circle. No focus. I dialed the OR. Blake. Status. Dr. Blake, said Dr. Rivera, my senior resident, voice tight. Chief of Staff to the President. Ruptured aneurysm at a state dinner. Secret Service inbound. Klein isn't cleared. I'm 20 minutes out, I said, mind locking in. Prep OR1. CT on arrival. Anesthesia ready. Neuromonitoring live. No one touches him until I get there. Yes, Chief. A federal number flashed. Dr. Blake. Agent Cole. Secret Service. Confirm you will perform the procedure. Confirmed. ETA 30 minutes. Secure OR1 and verify my clearance. Understood, Chief? I turned back. The circle had gone quiet. I have to go, I said, grabbing my coat. What kind of emergency? My father demanded. What could a receptionist possibly... I didn't answer. Cold air, keys, route mapped in my head. I walked out. The Secret Service had cleared the route. I made it in 11 minutes, sliding into executive parking where an agent waited with a tablet. Badge, clearance, biometrics, green checkmarks cascaded. Dr. Blake, Agent Cole said, falling in beside me. OR1 is sealed. Press diverted. CT on standby. Good. The elevator rose like a launched round. By the time the doors parted, I was already scrubbing. Rivera met me in the anteroom, eyes fever bright above his mask. Ruptured anterior communicating artery aneurysm, he reported. Intubated, sedated. Blood pressure labile. 39 minutes since collapse. We're late but not lost. I finished the scrub. Anesthesia on propofol. Neurofuzz, monitoring continuous. If I say pause, we pause. He nodded. We pushed through the doors. The room steadied me. Lights, steel, the metronome of the monitor. Dr. Noor took the opposite side, hands ready. Along the margins, agents stood like statues. Scalpel. The world narrowed. Skin, bone, dura. We evacuated clot, eased pressure, navigated the glistening maze of vessels, every motion measured. Minutes tightened into an hour. Visualization, Noor murmured. There. The aneurysm bulged like a blister at the junction, thin and treacherous. One wrong touch and the room would become a storm. I breathed once. Clip. Titanium settled between my forceps, a crescent of decision. I seated it across the neck, adjusted a hair, checked flow, checked again. Clip secure, I said. Rivera, readings? No change in potentials. Activity stable. Then we close. Relief arrived not as fireworks, but as weightlifting. We irrigated, set bone, stitched the rent we'd made. 5 hours after I'd left my parents' house, I stripped off my gown and stepped into the corridor. Director Harding stood with a man in a navy suit whose gratitude was precise and official. On behalf of the president, he said. Thank you, Dr. Blake. Thank the team, I said, already turning toward recovery. In my office, my phone shook with missed calls. Family, news, unknowns. A headline glowed. Chief neurosurgeon saves top official. I silenced the screen and headed to neuro ICU. The ICU was quiet except for the steady hush of ventilation and the slow blink of monitors. The chief of staff lay pale but perfused, pupils brisk, numbers holding. I gave orders, sedation lightened, neuro checks every 15 minutes, vasospasm watch, and signed the brief. In the empty corridor, my phone throbbed like a second pulse. Dozens of missed calls. One from my mother. I hesitated, then answered. Aaron? Her voice was small. I'd never heard it small. The news? Are they talking about you? About the surgery, I said. Yes. Silence stretched, fragile as an eggshell. We didn't know, she whispered at last. We didn't ask. Can you come home? We want to talk. I can't leave the patient. I stared through the glass at the man whose life now measured in millimeters and minutes. But you can come here. They arrived before dawn. My parents, Daniel and his wife, Aunt Lena, cousins who'd smirked through dessert. Security checked badges. Nurses folded their attention around us. My father looked at the unit, all light and steel. This is where you work, he said, as if translating a language he'd refused to hear. I told them anyway. I told them about the call, the scan, the window that narrows like a noose, about teaching Rivera to hear with his fingertips, about Noor's hand steady as a metronome. Skill is a debt you pay daily, interest compounded in lives. And we called you a receptionist, Daniel said, face hot with shame. You called me what you needed me to be, I said, to keep the family story neat. My mother's eyes shone. We were wrong. She reached for my hand. I am sorry, Aaron. I am proud. Before the headlines, after them, even if there were none, I should have said it out loud. A nurse leaned out. Doctor, he's following commands. We crowded the window. The patient squeezed to open, close, open. A flicker of self returning. No orchestra swelled. Relief is quieter than that. When they left, my mother hugged me. Next time, she said, you talk. We listened. I'll hold you to it. I hope you do.